So now that we're all adequately refueled, ready to crack into the afternoon talks, first up today, we're going to learn about data control from my former bus stop buddy. But you've abandoned me now. Use all that energy from lunch to give a big round of applause to Kateryna.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I by myself do have quite a loud voice, so I will be actually controlling myself not to be talking too loud. So if I am, I apologize in advance. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kateryna Kozlova. I am Business Development Manager at Techmakers. I have been working in the data world for 4 years now, and this is what became the background for the topic that I will be presenting to you today, which is data quality is how you control the outcomes of AI. So, AI is definitely transforming every industry, and in many ways it is. But there is a hard truth that many organizations still learning hard way is AI systems are only as reliable as the data and controls behind them. And this is what Samita has been talking. She was giving a fantastic talk before me. So still, one of the oldest principles in computer science still holds true today when we're talking about AI, which is garbage in and garbage out. So organizations, they are rushing to deploy AI capabilities without first putting very strong data foundations in place. And we all very well know that generative AI is being used across almost all the industries, law, finance, healthcare, you name them all, and tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they're now used to draft documents, to summarize information, to actually make up business strategic decisions, and as some has shared, even to do the shopping list. So these systems are trained on vast data set and structured repositories. And while being highly capable, they can produce hallucinations. What are hallucinations? Those are outputs that appear credible, but they are factually incorrect or entirely fabricated. And when used in regulated or high-stakes environment without verification, these hallucinations can enter real-world decision process. And the result of that is not just technical debt, it's reputational, operational, and sometimes even the legal risk. So what makes this momentum talking about this topic particularly important is the two-way relationship between AI and data quality. On one hand, high quality, well-governed data is essential to train reliable AI models. And on the other hand, AI itself can be a powerful tool to detect anomalies in data, monitor data health, and scale quality processes. And well, when done right, this creates an absolutely virtuous circle. But when done poorly, it creates very public failures. And today I'm going to talk about some of those. So the first on the screen that you can see, actually these examples is coming from the UK, and some of you might have spotted in the news. A lot of you actually have read about this. No? I'm happy to share. So in 2025, West Midlands police recommended banning supporters of the Israeli football club Maccabi Tel Aviv from attending Europa League match against Aston Villa in Birmingham. And the decision was based partly on intelligence, suggesting that previous violence incidents involving the club's fans. As an evidence, there was a match between West Ham United and Maccabi Tel Aviv that had apparently caused serious disorder. But there was just one problem. That match actually never happened. So it had been generated by Copilot and made its way to the report before anyone checked it. I mean, imagine, this case really is showing us that if you don't have a strong data quality layer checking AI outputs, those mistakes can quickly become facts inside real decision-making processes. Moving forward is the legal industry. And in legal industry, accuracy and verification, they are absolutely critical. So in June 2025, the High Court of England and Wales issued a formal warning to lawyers after several court submissions contained fake legal citations generated by AI. And the warning came from Dame Victoria Sharp, president of the King's Bench Division, who said that courts were increasingly seeing arguments supported by cases that simply never existed. And one of the examples involved an 89 million lawsuit against Qatar National Bank, where lawyers submitted 45 case citations And imagine 18 of them turned out to be completely fictitious. Another case involved a claim against London Borough of Haringey, where the court again found legal authorities cited in submissions that could not be found in any legal databases. So the High Court made it clear responsibility still sits within the human professional. This was not a failure of AI alone. It was a failure of governance, validation, and professional controls around how AI outputs were being used. And these cases, I believe, are also showing a higher gap between AI capability and organizational readiness to be using it. And finally, and my most favorite topic is financial and regulation industry. So in these financial environments, AI systems are increasingly used for risk classification, fraud detection, regulatory reporting. But already some of the cases where things have gone wrong appeared in public, and I would like to talk about those. So the first example is a fintech saving app, which is called Digit, Hello Digit. So this platform used an algorithm designed to help users save money automatically. The idea is absolutely brilliant. So it analyzed transactions, histories, spending habits and payment behaviors of the account holders to determine when small amounts of money could safely move to the saving account. In theory, as I said, it's a very helpful automation tool, but in practice, the model sometimes misinterpreted customers' financial situations and transferred funds when users didn't actually have any spare money available. So some customers were pushed into overdraft and incurred bank fees as a result. This issue eventually led to enforcement action from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which ordered the company to compensate customers and imposed a 2.7 million fine. So AI-driven saving feature ended up creating financial harm because the system interpretation of the underlying data was flawed. Again, data issue. Another example highlights a different type of risk, which is the lack of transparency in automated decision-making. A bank in Berlin used an AI system to assist with loan approvals. So a customer's application was rejected, but the regulator later investigated the case, and bank had absolutely no clear explanation of how algorithms reach decision. And again, because of that, they received a fine of 300,000 euros. And finally, one of the most widely discussed examples that I do not have on the slide, because I suppose many of you have heard about it, is Apple Card issues by Goldman Sachs. So shortly after its launch, several customers reported that reported that women were receiving significantly lower credit limits in comparison to men, despite similar financial portfolios and situations. So this controversially really quickly escalated into regulatory investigation and raised broader concerns about how biased or incomplete training data can lead to discriminatory outcomes. So what these examples illustrate to all of us is that AI failure, they are rarely just technical glitches. Those are data problems, misclassified data, incomplete data sets, or weak governance around how automated decisions are made. And because those systems operate in such a huge scale, even small data error can be having absolutely significant and tremendous effects. So, and as a final slide, I would like to give up a summary of the fact that AI systems, they operate on probabilistic reasoning and really depend heavily on the quality, structure, and governance of the data they use. Large language models, remember, they do not retrieve verified facts in the same way as traditional database query. Instead, they generate responses based on statistical patterns learned during the training. This means that when information is incomplete, ambiguous, or missing, the model may fill gaps by generating plausible but incorrect outputs. These hallucinations, they are not necessarily just random errors. They're natural outcomes of how generative models work. So again, I provided this example to demonstrate that reliability of AI systems is determined less by sophistication of the model itself, but more of the quality of the data environment surrounding this. And I believe several data quality principles are absolutely necessary before deploying AI systems. First things first is authorization of data sources. So AI systems must be anchored to trusted data sets rather than relying solely on general training data. Number two is data validation and verification, which sounds quite logical, but some of the companies do miss this step. Data governance and accountability. So there should be clear, defined responsibility of who is responsible for which systems. And finally, continuous monitoring and feedback loops. AI systems, they do require monitoring to detect the errors, to fix them, to fix any biases that appear. And without these controls, AI system can scale errors extremely quickly. A fabricated citation, incorrect policy interpretation, or misclassified data can propagate across documents, decisions, and can lead to even bigger challenges for the organization. So for this reason, many organizations are increasingly recognizing that AI governance begins with data governance. And before deploying advanced AI capabilities, companies first must ensure that their data is accurate, standardized, and governed through a clear validation process. Ultimately, the cases discussed in this presentation reinforce the fundamental principle that I would like to point out to. Artificial intelligence does not eliminate the need for data quality. Instead, it makes data quality more important than ever. And I'll be very happy to take any questions and connect with you on LinkedIn to discuss any of these topics. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have brought us back from lunch by slightly terrifying me, I'll be honest. But no, thank you so much for your time and presentation. That was great.